How are you, students and teachers and any other person that will be watching this video? You know, when we are teaching, sometimes we want the students to remember, recall, evaluate, apply whatever concepts we've been learning in class. And we can only do so if we give them opportunity to present what they know about a certain book. As I told you earlier, to make students recall anything to do with the characters, because we normally ask things to do with what else happened elsewhere, we had to go through this journey. And of course, you'll realize that some of the students are shy, they can't talk freely, some of them are informed, they have ideas, and the teacher has to come in every time within an open forum, but a certain group has to present in class as others listen, and the teacher should take them through this journey. So from this, I'm learning that it's impossible for a teacher to give students tasks and they go away. You will never know what exactly they were doing and whether they were right about everything. So let's go through this journey with these students.
We are group 2 as my group member. We are taking you through the beginning abilities. Mobile Melusi is a Zimbabwean citizen who aged 70 years. He had a wife named Lisa. He checked in at Simon Hotel in Banjul. He has no occupation. As you can see in the application card, he wrote not applicable. He was located at the 5th floor of the South Wing. We see from page 82 to 84, there Gobile Melusi preparing to go to the summit. We see the summit had a high security. It has two principal: deterrence and detection. Detection it means spot actual danger at specific point and punishes it there. Then deterrence meant, on the other hand, sees quotation crime everywhere and punishes it anywhere. So we see that the security people were harassing both bad and good people. You see, when Gobile Melusi, we are being told that Gobile Melusi had a health condition, he was having a diabetes, so he was instructed to go any place that he goes. He was supposed to carry that needle. So you see, when he was going to the summit, the guard who was there did not allow him to go with that needle. They had to quarrel there, but at the end we see Gobile Melusi is being allowed by that person to enter with that needle. We see that Gobile Melusi discovered he had a diabetes during a medical checkup that Abda had asked him to take while he was going to join Part Alpha. See that before he was going to join Part Alpha, his health condition had to be known. So we see that Gobile Melusi, when he had a test, he found himself having that defect of diabetes. I welcome my colleague now to continue from page 85.
Maybe before someone goes on to 85, do you think what made this young man to give in and allow Melusi to go through this check with the needle? Because according to instructions, he was supposed to leave it outside. Looking at the aspect of being persistent and determined, because that question is asked, and when you look at the aspect that Melusi was so determined to go through the checks and manage to go in with it, regardless of this person shouting at him, he also decides to be very reluctant and emphasizes that he has to go through it. In fact, point out the number of people who are sick and the situation that can meet him in case he doesn't go with his needle. Yeah, so the next person can proceed.
I'll start from page 85 down there, where Tajumi and
Melusi are at the Chaminika restaurant at Harare, and Melusi is telling Richard that after defeating Smith, the Zimbabwe had an urgent order, which was to have a peacefully elected government, and therefore they put up a transition government. Then they put up a transition government. That's on page 86. Then on page 87, they put up a transition government, and this was after then followed by independence, where they had a national anthem, which entailed that they should have that Zimbabwe should be blessed, and the national motto was unity, freedom, and happiness. Later on, there was none of the above.
There's something you skipped that is very important.
Melusi and the leader of Zimbabwe, at first they were together. They were to fight Smith, who was a white man. And we say that when they succeeded in fighting Smith, the president of Zimbabwe betrayed Melusi, because Melusi was coming from different tribes.
Yeah, so during that war against the colonialists, Smith had been fought by Melusi and
Then came the national motto, which was unity, freedom, and work. But later on, there was none of that freedom, work, and unity. Then Comrade then tells that Glenn that never get off with the new ruler, who usually weaken his opponents and strengthen his supporters, which is a fact according to Tad Benway.
so the opponents were basically the Nebele people, right?
Yes.
Where Melusi belonged. Go on.
On page 88, on page 88, Comrade James studied that when the new ruler discovered that he was an Ndebele, he deemed him an opponent and presumed he was guilty and threw him out of the government. I welcome Alicia.
So we are going to take you through page 91 and page 90 and 91, where it talks about where Comrade is explaining to Tadlome about the death of his wife. So you see that when Comrade had a business office in downtown Bulawayo, which was the capital of the Ndebele. One day when Comrade was in his office as usual, he heard that the Gukurahu were destroying the lives and the properties of the Ndebele. So Comrade decides to leave his office at once and drove back home. And when he was explaining to the visitor that by the time he arrived, he found that the slaughter had already run its course. He found the front doors of his house was wide open. He then started calling his wife Ziliza, but did not answer. When he went to the kitchen, he found Ziliza there, and he was lying on the floor. Then her eyes were bulges of a dead spirit, and the Gukurahundi was
that the next time Tad Longwe wanted to go and test some traditional food of the Zimbabwe, and Kabali Lucy took him to Mponda restaurant. The entrance of the hotel showed that it's truly Mponda was really a place, the mother of Zimbabwe traditional cuisines, and promised nothing but silver spoon. Then there is where Comrade started by saying that after that he could not resist the annoyance of the bomber, and therefore he was naive and decided to retreat him in a small.
So how did he decide to revenge bomber? What did he do? Which party did he form and how did he go back? Yeah, so he formed NIC, or we can call it New Independence Party, so that he can vie for a position of a president. Then what happened? So these are like who are in that party.
You see that most of these who are in that party, deep down their hearts, they were selfish. Each one wanted that seat, so they were not able to unite together to fight for them.
Yeah, instead of uniting, they began to fight against each other. And at the same time, what is the economic situation of Zimbabwe?
You see that the president of Zimbabwe ruined the economy of Zimbabwe. The evidence is when they were at the hotel with Tad Longwe. It was at 30 p.m. but there was no one. They were the only visitors in that hotel. You see that Comrade Lucy is explaining to Tad Longwe that the people of Zimbabwe no longer come to hotel unless someone is putting the bill. So that shows how the economy, how the leader of Zimbabwe has totally ruined the economy of Zimbabwe.
Of course, we see that we have intervention from international world, especially the structure of communities and adjustment that was begun, but they don't succeed. So what then comes after his
7 to 9? So here, Melusi told that the Zimbabwean government come up with a solution to solve the poverty crisis, and that solution is Muramazina, which their aim was to demolish the slum dwellers. And the people were hopeless, but the government never cared whether they will live or die. And it was ironical that the Muramazina, which was to prevent the spread of diseases and crime, does nothing about that. But their real aim was to presented a document to Melusi titled Padarpa, and he asked him if he would be interested. Then of course he accepted.
So what particularly did Muramazina do to Melusi? Because we just talked generally about the fact that it never did the elimination of diseases and crime. So what exactly did it do to him? Yeah?
It was just the slums where he was residing.
What was he running at the moment as a way to survive?
It was a kind of business.
Yeah, so he was running a kind of bookshop, maybe, if I'm not wrong. But that was run down during that time and he became desperate. That part of Melusi is very important because we have questions that do with bad governance. You have used that aspect. You have aspect to do with choices and consequences. You have to consider it. And the aspect that unity is strength. You can see that aspect of need. the need and how people did not agree to work together, hence giving a win to Boma. When next do we meet Melusi?
Chapter 11, page 143. And we meet Melusi where he's on his bed. He's been dreaming about his wife, Ziza, who had died. And he reached Miss Wallet and pull the leader's photo. His phone rings. He answers it, and the guy at the phone tells him that he had almost missed in the morning, where the security nearly uncovered him, but Comrade Melusi answered the caller that he should leave him alone. The caller tells him to listen. The caller tells him that he wants them to leave. He wants to meet him in an hour in room 2059 Center Wing without fail. The caller then switched off. Comrade Melusi returned. He rose on his feet too.
This class, I noted that there were some students who, up to now, even though they are Form 4s, they have not noted the key concepts about characters. Now, Melusi is one of the characters that is key, because no question will come and you fail to talk about him unless otherwise. When you talk about bad governance, determination, choices and consequences, things to do with reconciliation, to do with, a lot of things, pain and suffering, he is in it. So it's important that students do understand everything about Melusi. And of course, that aspect of how he came into becoming comrade and how he separated with Boma, the loss he had of a wife and the loss in business are very important concepts that students must know. And then finally, as he meets Tad and the arrest we see him going through when he's going to attack the president during the summit presentation, when he's been asked to talk. And of course, he misses out on the session that is very important in his life. So thank you for watching our videos and giving comments here and there. We'll keep doing this. Bye-bye.